Hi there, Math Wizard. Let's find the equation of a line containing the given points 4, 1 and 12, 5. Remember, in order to write an equation in a point-slope form, we need to determine at least one point and a slope. In this problem, the slope is not given, but using these 2 points, we can solve for the slope. So the given points are 4, 1 and 12, 5. These are the coordinate of x and y. In one point, if you assign this as your x, the other pair is y. And the other point, if you assign that is your x sub 1, then its pair is y sub 1. So to find the slope, we need to get the difference between y and y sub 1 divided by the difference between x and x sub 1. So if we assign the 4, 1 as our x and y, the 12, 5 as our x sub 1 and y sub 1, so we have to subtract 1 minus 5 divided by 4 minus 12. So 1 minus 5 is negative 4 and 4 minus 12 is negative 8. If you divide negative 4 by negative 8, your answer will be positive 1/2. So that's your slope. If we assign this as our x sub 1 and y sub 1, then the other point will be x and y. So we can subtract y minus y sub 1. If you assign in a different way, as long as you pair it, if this is an x and y, your x and y, this will be your x sub 1 and y sub 1. You cannot make this 4 as your x sub 1 and your y sub 1 will be here in a 5. It should be fair. It should be in the same point. So if you have the x in that point, your y will be in that point also. If you have the x sub 1 in that point, your y sub 1 will be in the same point. You cannot pair this and this. And the 1 and the 12, you cannot pair that because these are points and this is also a point. So these two are points that are different points. So now, if we assign this as our x sub 1 and y sub 1, this is our x and y. So therefore, y minus y sub 1, so 5 minus 1, it will gives you 4, and 12 minus 4, it will gives you 8, and 4 divided by 8 is still a positive 1/2. So your slope is 1/2. Now we can plug in this in the point slope form. So y minus 5, you can either use any of these points. You can use 4, 1 or 12, 5. So here we use the 12, 5. So y minus 5 equals 1/2. Your m is 1/2 times the quantity of x minus your x coordinate, which is 12. So your point slope form is y minus 5 equals 1/2 times the quantity of x minus 12. So that's the equation of a point slope form. Then if you are going to rewrite or solve this in a Y-intercept form, then we need to simplify. Here we add 5 and we add 5 in the other side of the equation. So negative 5 plus 5 is 0. It will leave us to only y. And then the 1/2 times the x is 1/2 x. And 1/2 of negative 12 is negative 6. And plus the 5, because we add 5 in the left equation, we need to add 5 in the right equation. Now we can combine negative 6 and 5 because they are like terms. They are the same. They are called constant because they are only number. They don't have a variables with them. Unlike the 1/2, they have a variable x here, or the letter. The letter is the variable, and the number before the letter is the coefficient. So 1/2 is the coefficient of x here. So 1/2 x and -6 are not like terms because -6 doesn't have x. 1/2 x and 5 are not like terms because 5 does not have an x. So only -6 and 5 are like terms because they are the same. They are constant number. They are constant numbers. Okay, -6 plus 5, it will give you -1. And we just have to put 1/2 x here because we cannot combine 1/2 x with these two numbers here. So your final answer will be y equals 1/2 x minus 1. That's your y-intercept form. So if you use 4, 1 in your slope-intercept form, you plug in. So this is the slope-intercept form equation. So y minus your y coordinate is 1. So y minus 1 equals, since your slope is 1/2, so put 1/2 here in the slope, times the quantity of x minus your x coordinate, which is 4. So you put 4 in here. Then we simplify in order to make it in a y-intercept form. So we simplify. This is a -1 here, or -1. So we add 1. So -1 plus 1 is 0. It will give us only y equals 1/2 times the x is 1/2 x. Then 1/2 of -4 is -2. And then because we added 1 in the left equation, we need to add 1 in the right equation. So now, remember, we cannot combine numbers with x to the numbers that doesn't have x. So we can only 1/2 x, leave it by itself. Then -2 plus 1, it will give us -1. So your final answer will be y equals 1/2 x minus 1. That's your y-intercept form. So remember, you can use either of these 2 points. It will still give you the same answer. Alright, that's it for today, and thank you for watching.